Ta-da! Okay, I'm back and I'm back with a new book. And this book is No Rules Rules. First of all, mwah. Hi my lovely audience. This is Abhilasha Sharma and you're watching my channel Abhilasha Sharma Read With. Oh, I cannot wait. But it's a new book. Let's do the unboxing. Oh, come on. It's out. Ta-ta, it's off. First of all, I have to do this, sorry. But oh god, the smell of the new book. It is amazing. The fonts are very small. Can you see? Can you see the fonts? This is the cover of the book. I really like the red and black and the white they have the fonts in. This is the book. It's pretty. Isn't it? It's very pretty, no? Okay. So first of all, I have to say thank you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I have taken a challenge of 365 days. I'm going to read book. I'm going to do 3 videos on one book. So this book is going to cover at least 3 videos. So No Rules and Rules is going to have 3 hours of me. And what you can gain from these videos. Okay, we are gonna do introduction. Then there is Netflix culture is weird. Okay, honesty always. A different type of workplace. You have to connect the dots differently. A stunning workplace. A great workplace is stunning colleagues. Okay, so let's start. I'm not going to waste any more time of you. This is a reading channel. You are here to have somebody to read with you. So I'm going to be your host and I'm going to read with you guys. And this is me reading the book. This is our first chapter. If you can see, it is a great workplace is stunning colleagues. Sounds nice. Okay. In the 1990s, I liked to rent VHS videos from the Blockbusters down the street from our house. I had take 2 or 3 at a time and return them quickly to avoid late fees. Then one day I moved a pile of papers on the dining room table and saw a cassette that I had watched weeks ago and forgotten to return. When I took the movie back to the store, the woman told me that the fee is $40. I felt so stupid. Later that got me thinking. Blockbuster made most of the margin from late fees. If your business model depends on inducing fees of stupidity in your inducing feelings of stupidity in your customer base, you can hardly expect to build much loyalty. Was there another model to provide the pleasure of watching movies in your living room without reflecting the pain of paying a lot when you forgot to return them? In early 1997, when Pure Software was acquired, Mark Roloff and I started thinking about opening a movie by mail business. Amazon was having good luck with books. Why not films? Customers would rent VHS cassettes from our website and be able to return them via the mail. Then we learned it would cost us $40 to mail the VHS cassette each way. There wasn't going to be a big market, it was too expensive. But a friend told me about a new invention called DVDs, which would be coming the fall. They are like the CDs but hold a movie. He explained. I raced. I should do modulation. I raced to the post office and mailed myself several CDs. I couldn't find self an actual DVD for my test. Each cost 32 cents to mail. Then I went back to my place in Santa Cruz and waited anxiously for them to arrive. 2 days later, they dropped through mail slots and unharmed. In May 1998, we launched Netflix, the world's first online DVD rental store. We had 30 employees and 925 movie titles, which was almost the entire catalog DVDs available at that time. Mark was the CEO until 1999 when I took over and he became one of our executives. By the early 2001, we had grown up to 4 lakh subscribers and 120 employees. I tried to avoid the leadership fumbles of my pure software days, and although we avoided implementing excessive rules and controls this time, I also couldn't sorry, characterize Netflix as a particularly great place to work. But we were growing, business was good, and work for employees was okay. Lesson from a crisis. Then, in the spring of 2001, crisis struck. The first internet bubble burst, and the scores of the dot-coms failed and vanished. All venture capital funding stopped, and we were suddenly unable to raise the additional funds, and we needed to run the business, which was far from profitable or moral in the office was slow and it was about to get lower. We had to lay off a third of our workforce. I sat down with Mark and Patty McCord. Patty had come with me from Pure Software and was head of the human resource, and we studied the contribution of each employee. We didn't have any obviously poor performers, so we divided the staff into two piles. The 80 highest performers who we would keep and 40 less amazing ones we would let go. Those who were exceptionally creative did great works and collaborated well with others went immediately into the keeper's pile. The difficulty was that there were many borderline cases. Some were great colleagues and friends but did adequate rather than great work. Others worked like crazy but showed uneven judgment and needed a lot of hand holding. Okay, so guys, this is a great book if you really want to know how actually corporate works, because this is a corporate story and he is talking about how he is laying off a lot of people, how is a lot of employees that he had, and that's this really good to know before you get into your business and then you are getting into the head ki okay, this is also something possible. Other workers like crazy but showed uneven judgment and needed a lot of hand holding. A few were exceptionally gifted and high performing, but also complainers or pessimists. Most of them would have to go. It wasn't going to be easy. In the days before the layoffs, my wife remarked how on edge I was. And she was right. I worried that motivation in the office would plummet. I was convinced that after I had let go of their friends and colleagues, those who stayed would think that the company wasn't loyal to employees. It was bound to make everyone angry. Even worse, the keepers would have to shoulder the works of those let go, which seemed certain to lead to bitterness. We were already short on cash. Could we bear a further collapse in morale? The day of the layoffs arrived and it was awful as expected. Those who we laid off cried, slammed doors, and shouted in frustration. By noon, it was finished, and I waited for the second half of the storm, the backlash from the remaining employees. But despite some tears and visible sorrows, all was calm. Then, within a few weeks, for a reason I couldn't initially understand, the atmosphere improved dramatically. We were in cost cutting mode and we would just let go of a third of the workforce, yet the office was suddenly buzzing with passion, energy, and ideas. A few months later, holidays arrived. DVD players were popular that Christmas, and that by early 2002, our DVD by mail subscription business was growing rapidly. Suddenly, we were doing far more work with 30% fewer employees. To my amazement, those same 80 people were getting everything done with a passion that seemed higher than ever. They were working long hours, but spirits were high sky. It wasn't just our employees who were happier. I had worked. wake up in the morning and couldn't wait to get to the office in those days. I drove Patty McCord to work every day, and when I swung up to her house in Santa Cruz, she would practically leap into the car with this big grin. Reed, what's going on here? Is this like being in love? Are these just some wacky chemicals that this thrill is going to wear off? Patty had put her finger on it. The entire office felt like it was filled with people who were madly in love with their work. I am not advocating for layoffs. Fortunately, we haven't had to do anything like that in Netflix since. But in the days, months following those 2001 layoffs, I discovered something that completely changed the way that I understand both employee motivation and leadership responsibility. This was my road to Damascus experience, a turning point in my understanding of the role of the talent density in organizations. The lessons we learned became the foundation of much that has had led to Netflix's success. But before we go on to describe the lesson, I should give Patty a proper introduction because she played a critical role in the development of the Netflix for over a decade, and her protege, Jessica Neal, runs HR for Netflix today. I first met Patty McCord while at Pure Software in 1994. She called the office out of the blue and asked to speak to the CEO. My younger sister was in answering the phone in those days, and she put the Patty right. For Patty was raised in Texas, which I could hear faintly in the way she spoke. She said she was currently working for the Sun Microsystem in the HR department, but she would like to come to First Software and run HR for us. I invited her in for a cup of coffee. During the first half of the meeting, I couldn't understand anything Patty was saying. I asked her to tell me her HR philosophy, and she said, I believe that every individual should be able to draw a line between their contribution to the corporation and their individual aspirations. As the head of the human capital management, I would work with you, the CEO, to increase the emotional intelligence quotient of our leadership and improve employee engagement. My head started to spin. I was young and unpolished, and after she stopped, I said, is this how all HR speak? I couldn't understand a word. If we are going to work together, you are going to have to stop talking like that. Patty was insulted and she told me straight to my face when she got home that evening that her husband asked her how the interview had gone, and she told him bad. I got into a fight with the CEO. But I love the way she told me exactly what she thought of me. So I gave her the job, and since then when we had a frank long lasting friendship. So guys, sometimes you have to be frank even with your boss, and the more frank you are, the more open you are, and the more you are able to improve, because some people do want to get improved, and the more you help them to improve their entire capability to do things, that helps them out. So that's there. So I gave her the job, and since then we had a frank, long-lasting friendship, which was persisted even after her departure from Netflix. It may be partly because we were so different. I am a math wonk and a software engineer. She's an expert in human behavior and a storyteller. When I look at a team, I see numbers and algorithms that connect the people and discussion. When Patty looks at a team, she sees emotions and subtle interpersonal responses that are invisible to me. Patty worked for me at Pure Software until we sold it in 1997, and she joined us early at Netflix. Patty and I spent dozens of car rides, although the 2001 layoffs, trying to figure out why the work environment had taken a sharp turn for the better and how we could maintain the positive energy. We came to understand that the Patty referred to as our dramatic increase in talent density was behind the improvements. Talented people make one another more effective. Every employee has some talent. When we had been 120 people, we had some employees who were extremely talented and others who were mildly talented. Overall, we had a fair amount of talent dispersed across the workforce. After the layoffs, the only most talented 80 people, we had a smaller amount of talent overall, but the amount of talent per employee was greater. Our talent density had increased. We learned that a company with really dense talent is a company everyone wants to work for. High performance, especially thrive in environments where the overall talent density is high. Our employees were learning more from one another and teams were accomplishing more faster. This was increasing individual motivation and satisfaction and leading the entire company to get more done. We found that being surrounded by the most catapulted already good work to a whole new level. Most important, working with real talent colleagues was exciting, inspiring, and a lot of fun. Something that remains as true today with the company at 7,000 employees as it was back then at 80. In hindsight, I understood that a team with one or two merely adequate performers bring down the performance of everyone on the team. If you have a team of five stunning employees and two adequate employees, the adequate one will sap managers' energy so they have less time for the top performers, reduce the quality of group discussion, lowering the team's overall IQ, force others to develop ways to work around them, reducing efficiency, drive staff who seek excellence to quit and show the team you accept mediocrity, thus multiplying the problem. Okay, this is something you should see. Let me repeat. So what happens when you allow educate people who are actually not good, to come into your company? And yes, so this saps the managers' energy so they have less time for the top performers, reduce the quality of the group discussions, lowering the team's overall IQ, force others to develop ways to work around them, reducing efficiency. It drives staff who seek excellence to quit and show the team you accept mediocrity, thus multiplying the problem. For top performers, a great workplace isn't about lavish office, a beautiful gym, or a free sushi lunch. It's about the joy of being surrounded by people who are both talented and collaborative. People who can help you become better. When every member is excellent, performance spirals upward as employees learn from and motivate one another. Performance is contagious. Yes, performance is contagious. As the more you people like and subscribe to my channel, the more I get the hype that I should do better, and I keep doing better. And this is entirely for you to just read with, so you can switch it on and you can have somebody to read with you guys, and I am here to just read with. But you can listen to my voice and you will know that okay, she is not just saying that she is reading, she is not pretending that she is reading, she is actually reading. So because of that particular reason, I am here and I will be reading with you guys. So if you want to comment, you can comment in the section which book you are reading, and whatever you guys want to tell me, you can tell me, and I am here for you all the time. From the 2001 layoffs, Reed learned that the performance, both good and bad, is infectious. If you have adequate performance, it leads many who could be excellent to also perform adequately. And if you have a team consisting entirely of high performance, which pushes the others to achieve more. Professor Will helps the students of the New South Wales in Australia conducted a fascinating study demonstrating a contagious behavior in the work environment. He created several teams of our colleagues, students, and each team to complete management tasks in 45 minutes. The team who did the best work would receive a financial reward of $100. Unbeknownst to the student, through some teams included an actor who played one of the several roles, a slacker who would disengage, put his feet up on the table and send the message, a jerk who would speak sarcastically, and say things like, "Are you kidding me?" And clearly, you have never taken a business class before, or a depressive pessimist who would look like his cat had just died, complain the task was impossible, express doubt that the team could succeed, and sometimes put his head on the desk. The actor did so without tipping off the rest of the team, and he was anything other than a regular student. Phillips